Lawyer Umut Beyaz was sentenced to a judicial fine of 21,240 Turkish liras for insulting a public official after he shared the words of Selçuk Kozağaçlı, the arrested chairman of Contemporary Lawyers Association, "You do not belong to the judicial power," referring to former Deputy Justice Minister Akın Gürlek. The trial of 24 members of Binevş Culture and Art Association, 4 of whom are arrested, started on charges of terrorist organization membership, making propaganda for a terrorist organization, and violating the law number 2911 on meetings and demonstrations. Former People's Democratic Party Parliament member Ibrahim Binici, who was sentenced to 1 year and 8 months in prison for his speech at an event organized by his party in 2013, was arrested and sent to Sincan prison after the Court of Cassation upheld the sentence. Reyhan Çapan, managing editor of the previously shut down Özgür Gündem Daily, who was prosecuted on the grounds that the retraction of a news article was not duly published, was sentenced to 41,666 Turkish liras of judicial fine. 301 Ege University students who protested against the mining disaster in Soma, which killed 301 miners, were sentenced to 3 years and 4 months in prison for obstructing the right to education and training. The Republican People's Party Aydın Efeler District Chair Polat Bora Mersin, who was charged with insulting the president for his post about Erdogan's university diploma, was acquitted in the first hearing. The appeal court overturned the verdict against 4 women's rights activists, members and executives of the People's Democratic Party, who were acquitted of terrorist organization membership and propaganda in Izmir. The lawsuit filed against Etkin News Agency reporter Adil Demirci due to terrorist organization membership ended 5 years later in acquittal. Mesopotamia News Agency's concessionaire Ferhat Çelik was detained on charges of targeting people involved in the fight against terrorism due to posts made on the agency's Twitter account. Biyanet Kurdi editor Eren Yıldırım was detained in a police raid at his home in Üsküdar, Istanbul. A confidentiality order was imposed on the investigation file, as well as a 24-hour restriction on access to a lawyer. An investigation was launched against energy and climate expert Önder Algedik for his social media post regarding to the road construction work in the forest of Hacettepe University. Algedik is accused of publicly disseminating misleading information within the scope of the investigation opened upon the complaint of Ankara Metropolitan Mayor Mansur Yavaş. Yalova University Rectorate accused the lecturer of disinformation for criticizing the government over the earthquake and launched an administrative investigation against them. Judicial proceedings were initiated against 730 social media users due to the earthquake-related posts. It was announced that 43 of 179 detained people were arrested. On March 8th, International Women's Day, a group of men attempted to physically attack the protest organized by Erzincan Women's Platform. The attackers, who were not intervened by the police, followed and harassed the women until they arrived at the association building. Social media influencer and transgender woman Selin Ciğerci was subjected to an attack attempt at the opening of a beauty center named after her in Konya. The crowd targeting Ciğerci chanted "Get out of Konya" slogans with takbirs. The police attacked the protest of youth organizations who wanted to make a statement for their detained friends in front of Istanbul Çağlayan Courthouse. 45 people were beaten and detained. Ankara News Agency's news report, which revealed that new construction projects in the earthquake zone were given to companies close to the government, was blocked from access. Zonguldak Criminal Judicature of Peace imposed a publication ban on the news about Nazif Çoraman after an uninsured miner was injured in the explosion at the mine he owned, and Çoraman did not send him to hospital by locking him in a room to avoid being fined. Istanbul Anatolian 4th Criminal Judicature of Peace blocked access to news articles about Silahtaroğlu construction, which came to the agenda with the public tenders it received. Istanbul Anatolian 4th Criminal Judicature of Peace blocked access to 1,073 tweets and 67 news articles, a significant portion of which belonged to journalists, about Republican People's Party leader Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu's participation in a program on TV 100 channel and the broadcast of the advertisement of Sadat Company, which came to the agenda with allegations that it is a paramilitary organization. News about Teknomer Construction, a company that was appointed a trustee for allegedly causing public damage through fake invoices and then became a hot topic with the public tender it received, was blocked from access. The Constitutional Court found no violation in the governorate's ban on the Pride Parade organized in Ankara in 2016. After 6 years and 5 months, the Constitutional Court ruled with 6 votes against 7, citing terror threat and possibility of attack as justification. The President of the Constitutional Court, Zühtü Arslan, and 6 other members annotated the decision.